Well, it's that time of the week again. Time to go get weighed. But before we do that, let's just talk about how this week went. Not too much happened that I was really going to film. I went camping at the beginning of the week, and I was really scared for this weigh-in because I consumed quite a few sweets and treats while we were out camping over the weekend. I was doing so good, and I even brought a lot of my own food, but I have a really bad sweet tooth. It's something that I struggle with quite a bit and that I'm continuing to try to improve on because it seems like once I have one sweet, I tend to go down this path of, well, I'll just have one more, and I'll just have another one. And before you know it, it's a snowball effect, and you eat way too many, and it's a bad situation. So I wasn't looking forward to this week's weigh-in. Something cool that did happen on the camping trip, though, was that I actually ran my first unofficial 10K. I wasn't exactly planning on doing that, but it ended up happening anyway. I got a little bit lost on the trails, and I ended up taking a longer route than I was anticipating, and I decided, you know what, I'm already getting close to 6 miles. I might as well just go over that and get my first 10K done. I just ran my first unofficial 10K. So I have to share with the people. First unofficial 10K that I've run. And I told you I'd be back in a week. See? This is the start of it, Natalie. Such a good start, right? Why are you playing videos in the middle of my video, Joe? Did you not hear I was recording?
No, I didn't hear it.
No, it's just going to be in there now. It's just going to be Joe playing a random video. What were you playing, by the way?
Thing with Orbeez and molten aluminum.
Orbeez and molten aluminum.
We're melting metal.
That's always a fun activity.
It is.
That's probably what I'll be joining in next, so. But I had to share this momentous occasion first. So, I'll talk with you guys later. So, here's the results for that, and kind of the path I traveled there. We went to Dexter Lake County Park, I think is what it was called, or Dexter County Park. It's a really nice park, but unfortunately the trails were kind of a mess. But given the current global situation and the fact that it's the start of the camping season here in Wisconsin, it's understandable. So given the fact that I ate off my diet and ate some non-vegan cookies, and I also went over my calorie intake a couple of those days, I assumed that coming back from camping, I was going to be gaining weight. That is what I anticipated. And I just knew that I was going to have to work my way down from whatever I had gained from there. However, I was surprised when I weighed in coming back from camping, and I was actually down to 376, I believe. 376 pounds. So I actually dropped a couple pounds from last week. So I was astonished by that. And I just assumed, well, maybe I burned enough when I was running. I don't like to count calories that I burn during workouts, just because there isn't really an accurate way of tracking that, and it can lead you down a terrible path of oh, well, I exercised this much, so I guess I can have an extra treat at lunch or at dinner. So I tend to not count my calories into my daily energy expenditure. I just track what I'm eating, and I don't subtract the calories that I'm exercising. So that weight stayed pretty consistent all the way up through Thursday, but then I started to see something a little different. Friday I weighed in, and I saw my weight go up quite drastically. I was all the way back up to 382. So I flew way past my numbers from last week, and basically back up to where I was at the end of April. So I was very confused, kind of upset, not really sure what's going on. I thought, maybe it's just the food that I ate over the weekend finally catching up with me, but I gave it a bit more thought, and that might not be the only thing. You see, I just got off of an 8-day break from work, and Friday was my first day back. I'm kind of a night owl, and I like to stay up really late, which is okay on the days off, But when I work, I have to be up really early in the morning. We're talking like 4:30. I've known this to be an issue of mine for quite some time, and it's something that I have been working on. But after this, I think I really need to hunker down, because I know that there's a lot of things that play into weight loss and weight gain, and sleep is one of those things. Typically, I'm only getting around 3 to 4 hours of sleep on the days that I work, and so that's something that I want to do better at, is on the days that I'm working, I need to be more diligent about going to bed. My doctor had prescribed me some melatonin so that it should help me be able to go to sleep when I go to bed, because that was a problem for a while too, is I would go to bed and I couldn't go to sleep for hours because I just wasn't tired yet. So adjusting to that, I've talked about adjusting to my work schedule. It's definitely been a really hard adjustment for me, but I am working my hardest to try to fix it, because not only does it affect, just how aware I am during the day and how much energy I have during the day, but it also is just destroying my progress in weight loss. I really think that it's playing a huge factor there, because I don't think it's a coincidence that the moment I went back to work is when my weight started going up again, and so drastically within one day. But sleep also, like I said, plays into energy, and I gotta be honest, I was not very active these past 3 days when I was working. Not nearly as active as I was on my days off. So that probably also played a role in it. There's a lot of things I looking back now, I can see it. I can see it clear as day. I think it was all these things piled on top of each other. So eating bad over the weekend, followed by less activity at the end of my week, and now right on top, just bing bang boom, not sleeping well. That's my takeaway from this week, is focus on all aspects of health, or you're gonna have a hard time seeing any progress. So yeah, that's where we're at. We are now currently, as of today, which is Sunday, we are sitting at 381.6, I believe. Here's the weigh-in for today. So a bit of a gain from last week, but overall, still working to make things better. One more thing I wanted to share with you guys, and that is that I am reading a book. I know I'm not too big of a reader, but I do read for information. So the book I am reading is called Stephen King on Writing, and it is his memoir of the craft. So it was recommended by a YouTuber I watch that does a lot of screenplays. So I thought I'd give it a go, because I know how important telling a good story is in filmmaking. I just got through about 100 or so pages so far, and basically just got done reading through his life story and how he got into writing. So now I'm hoping to break into this next section, which is literally Stephen King's toolbox on writing. That's where I'm at, I think. Yep, that's where I'm at. If you guys have any other books that you think I'd be interested in reading for information, again, I'm not big into reading fiction. That's what movies are for, entertainment. That's what I do for entertainment. So if you guys have any books that you think I'd be interested in, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. I would love to see what you guys think. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, you guys have a wonderful week. Those of you that know me know I'm not too much of a fan of reading, but I do read for information. So that's kind of what this book is. Funny story with that, I started reading it while we were out camping, and my mom came out of her bedroom and saw that a light was on. So she looked around the corner thinking that I'd left it on, and here I was reading my book. She looks at me and she's like, I must be sleepwalking. Are you reading? I'm like, what? I can't read now? Is that a thing? Oh, jeez.